Good evening, all students, UPSC aspirant English medium students. Thanks for joining me. I remind you in the last class, chapter 12, buildings, paintings, and books. So today is remaining topic, chapter 12. So let's go ahead. Kings and queens probably spent money from their treasury to pay the craft persons who were to build these splendid structures. Beside, when devotees came to visit the temple of the stupa, they often bought gifts which were used to decorate the buildings. For example, an association of every workers paid for one of the beautiful gateway at Sanchi. Among the others who paid for decoration were merchants, farmers, gardens makers, perfumes smiths, and hundreds of men and women who are known only by their names, which were inscribed on pillars, railing, and walls. So when you get a chance to visit any of these buildings, remember how several hundred of people probably worked to construct and decorate them. So paintings. This is a palace where several caves were hollowed out of the hills over centuries. Most of them were monasteries of Buddhist monks, and some of them were decorated with paintings. Here are some examples as the caves are dark inside. Most of these paintings were done in the light of torches. The colors, which are vivid even after 1500 years ago, were made of plants and minerals. Plants and minerals. The artist who created these splendid work of art remain unknown. So look at this picture, Ajanta paintings. Describe what you see in each of these paintings, Ajanta paintings. And look at this picture. So let's go ahead. The word of books. Some of the best known epics were written during the period. Epics are grand, long composition about heroic men and women, and including stories about good. A famous Tamil epic, the Sila Padikaram, was composed by a poet named Lingo around 1800 years ago. It is the story of merchant named Kovalan who lived in Fuhar and fell in love with a courtesan named Madhavi, neglecting his wife Kanangi. Later, the and Kangi left Fuhar and went to Madurai, where he was wrongly accused of theft by the court jeweler of the Pandya king. The king sentenced Kovalan to death. Kangi, who still loved him, was full of grief and anger at this injustice and destroyed the entire city of Madurai. So another Tamil epic, the Manimekalai, was composed by Shatnar around 1400 years ago. This describes the story of the daughter of Kovalan and Madhavi. These beautiful compositions were lost to scholars for many centuries. Still, their manuscripts were rediscovered about 100 years ago. Other Writers such as Kalidas, about whom you read in chapter 11, wrote in Sanskrit. And let's go ahead, recording and preserving old stories. A number of some facts. Kalidas always loved of nature. So let's go ahead. A number of Hindu religious stories that were in circulation earlier were written down around the same time. These including the Purana. Puran literally mean old. The Puranas contain stories about gods and goddesses such as Vishnu, Shiva, Durga, or Parvati. They also contain details on how they were to be worshipped. Besides, there are accounts about the creation of the world and about kings. The Puranas were written in simple Sanskrit words and were meant to be heard by everybody, including women and Shudra. We were not allowed to study the Vedas. They were probably recited in temple by priests, and people came to listen to them. To Sanskrit epics, the Mahabharata and Ramayana and been popular for a very long time. Some of you may be familiar with these stories. The Mahabharata is about a war fought between the Kaurav and Pandav, who were cousins. This was a war to gain control of the throne of the Kuru and their capital Hastinapur. The story itself was an old one, but was written down in the form in which we know it today. About 1500 years ago, both the Purana and the Mahabharata are supposed to have been compiled by Vyas. The Bhagavad Gita, about which you learned in chapter 10, was also included in the Mahabharata. The Ramayana is about Rama, a princess of Kaushal, who was sent into exile. His wife Sita was abducted by the king of Lanka named Ravan and Rama, and to fight a battle to get her back. He won and returned to Ayodhya, the capital of Kaushal. There his victory, like the Mahabharata. This was an old story that was now written down. Valmiki is recognized as the author of the Sanskrit Ramayana. So stories told by ordinary people. So ordinary people also told stories, composed poems and songs, sang, danced, and performed plays. Some of these are preserved in collection of stories such as the Jatak and the Panchtantra, which were written down around the time. Stories from the Jatak were often shown on the railing of a stoop and in painting in palaces such as Ajanta. So, writing books of science. This was also the time when Aryabhatta, a mathematician and astronomer, wrote a book in Sanskrit known as the Aryabhattam. He stated that day and night were caused by the rotation of the earth on its axis, even though it seems as if the sun is rising and setting every day. He developed a scientific explanation for elliptics as well. He also found a way of calculating the circumferences of a circle, which are nearly as accurate as the formula V used today. So that's in today's class. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and